Sorry, my bad. Take a right, go down 2 blocks. I didn't know. Hi, thank you for tuning in to That's the Setup podcast. I'm your host, Sharika Duncan, a new author of the Setup novel. Check me out on Instagram at Sharika Duncan and on Facebook as Sharika Duncan Author or my website, sharikaduncan.com.
Yeah. Whoa, whoa. Yeah.
Straight 40 on the beat.
I just want bags now, I'm fully loaded like a cash cow. Dinner check with no bust down. I'm on my greedy, yeah, I'm up now. Yeah, got my checks up, name a nigga who gon' check us. Had to throw no necklace, leave a eye necklace, yeah. They wanna ride away, cause we go hard, tight away. You know gang gon' shoot first, cause we don't wanna die today, yeah. Big clips like the Vectors, hard to tell with a sweater. She leave me, I won't sweat her, cause the ice on my neck won't let me. Packs and do a flash out. Running back, that's a rerun. Turn them into a course, thinking we won't do none. Don't you cross that line. Ain't talking about free throw. Back on my bully, that's beast mode. We running streets with cheat codes, yeah. Gotta take a chance just to run it all. Any supply that's in the man, I can get it all. And I just want you to be the greatest I would ever dog. Get cash, that's on a daily basis. Formulating a plan that's called elevating. Hold up, ice like a freezer. Yeah, I'm hotter than a weapon. Every time that we step in, detectives we pick up the weapons. Yeah, let me drive the boat, I'ma take us down. Ain't no falling off, no. I'ma pay the cost, yeah. Definition of a boss, yeah. Bust down like an AP, ain't no monkey in the middle. I want a lot, don't want a little. Dreams of riches, not a fiddle. Yeah, yeah. That was a brief intermission. I'm on they neckties, cause I really mean business. Showing them I am the realest. I be spitting gas, I should've been a pump. She be coming fast like she don't care about a ticket. Shawty, you know I'm a ticket. Sorry, but ain't a re-entry. Yeah, yeah. They falling off. When I tried to lead the way, came up off a play. Ain't talking actor, should've been a pastor. Cause them know I'm blessed. Yeah, they know I'm up next. Yeah, yeah. Leaving my haters upset, cause they know I'm about to flex. Yeah, yeah. Gotta take a chance just to run it all. Any supply that's in the man, I can get it all. And I just want you to be the greatest I would ever do.
Evening, everybody. Welcome to That's the Setup podcast. I'm your host, Sharika Duncan, and along with me is Miss Roland Mayhew. And we also have a wonderful, talented guest today who is an R&B artist named Franco Black. Welcome, guys.
Yo.
Welcome.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for joining the podcast. So,
No problem.
well, I saw some of your videos and stuff like that, right? So, to me, your style is like you rap, but it's like in a singy, songy vibe rap style to me. What would you call your style of rapping?
I don't know, kind of like, I would say it's more like a mellow, chill style.
Mm-hmm.
Can't really put a finger on to pinpoint it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like new age. I think that's a category.
Yeah, because it sounds like you have a great voice to sing. If you wanted to sing, it didn't sound like much auto-tune was using, but then it's clearly you're rapping. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys.
So, like, what influenced you as you were growing up and you wanted to do music? Like, what type of genre of music influenced you?
I would say definitely R&B, like old like 70s, 60s, 70s. I always searching 60s, 70s R&B. I listened to a lot of jazz coming up. So jazz music had a big influence on me with just hearing different instruments, and then I have those three people that I really like listening to as far as R&B. It's Smokey Robinson. He came with the song Cruising. Otis Redding, the song Doc on the Bay.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. I like that one.
And then Shaka Khan, sweet thing.
Ooh, yeah. So like, for rap, you got to have rap in there. I know a rapper or two or so influence you also, because you're a rapper, aren't you? Or are you a singer?
Yeah. I started off rapping first, and I slowly progressed to singing. So, I'm gonna go with Hometown, Rick Ross. He was a big influence. Iceberg.
Oh, yeah. I like Iceberg. Okay. So like you said, when you was growing up, you listened to a bunch of that. So was that type of music, the jazz and the R&B, was it played in your home? Like, was home where you was introduced to music and fell in love with it? Tell us about it.
Yeah, it definitely was. Like I said, coming up, I always listened to jazz. My grandma actually was a jazz artist. She used to take us to some of her shows when we were younger.
Amazing.
And then my mom, she was always around these big time artists with the work she was into, because she was working with a photographer. So they was always at big major events. She'd come home and show us pictures, all type of pictures with Ross, Young Breed, Iceberg.
Well, just to make it clear, Iceberg, for those who don't know, he's a Miami local. He's great. Because not everybody knows Iceberg, so you gotta have to let them know.
Yeah, a lot of people don't really know about Iceberg, but the ones in Hometown, they know about him. He's pretty big, very influential to things that we can actually obtain in life. Some people can't reach the higher peers sometimes, but he's one of those that stayed humble, stayed grounded, and is a big influence and inspiration to others in some of the small areas.
Yeah.
Wow. So I've checked out your YouTube channel, and you have a lot of work out there, and you've been grinding. Do you have any new albums out that you can tell us about?
Yes, it's called Fly Boss Collection Volume 1, which is in stores now, in all musical platforms. The album is pretty much based upon my day-to-day obstacles, and I just channel that energy into my music to be able to relate to others.
Yeah, give me an example of an obstacle that you actually put into a song, just for example.
Okay, for example, dealing with love situation, relationships. I have a song called Afterlife. It's pretty much just focusing on my relationship. Sometimes in relationships, we get in those spaces where we feel like, okay, this may not work. It may not be the right fit. But over time, we kind of ponder on it more and just come to a common ground like, okay, we can work this out. We can get better in our relationship. So it's just really, really showing, realistic stuff that go on in my life. And that was one of the ones surrounding that song. That is pretty much my relationship, trying to keep it strong, even though it does get rocky sometimes.
So this is a true story, right?
Definitely.
So are you currently dating or in this relationship?
Yeah, I'm still fully committed in a relationship.
Can you tell us about this special person?
Yeah, her name is Amaria. She goes by Amaria Black on Facebook. But yeah, we've been knowing each other since I pretty much first moved to Tallahassee, because I'm from Miami. So, and I've been here for a while now. Probably it's been on and off since like 2009 that I've been up here, because I always go back and forth still. But yeah, I've been knowing her since I pretty much first moved up here, and we started off as friends, and it just progressed to being in a relationship later on in life as we grew up, as we both grew up.
That's amazing. Okay, so she's all into music too, right?
Yeah, she actually does music. We have an album out on, I mean, not an album, but a mixtape out on SoundCloud that we put out together called Mr. and Mrs. Black.
It's called what, Mr. and Mrs. Black?
Yes.
Oh, let me write that down and check it out when I get through with you. But
Okay.
So, the album that you got come out, you said the Fly Boss Collection Volume 1. Like,
Yes.
Were you the writer majority on that album, and did you collaborate with anybody?
No, that's me. I wrote everything, but Trey 40, he's my personal beat maker. He made all the beats on that album, and he's a very talented guy. I just linked with him like I want to say last year sometime, and ever since we linked up, we've been making magic.
Okay. So I some of your songs do have that Miami vibe. I like that. You know, I'm from South Florida, so I like that Miami vibe. But then you have this one song, I forgot the title of it, but it has like a Miami vibe to it, but then there's like a little twinge of country in that. So
yeah, I like it.
So like what can we expect on your album? I know you mentioned a couple to Sharika about relationships and stuff, but seems like you like country music or something, or you wanted something different, and of course you kept it a little Miami style, you know.
Right, I know exactly what song you're talking about. You're referring to Blue Water.
Okay.
Anytime we get in the studio, we feel like we can accomplish anything, and that just goes for our range of music as well. We don't really like to try to center ourselves in one genre, because we are open-minded to whatever we feel we can create. That's what it's going to be, and we'll be the wave instead of trying to chase a wave or feeling like we only can be stuck in one position, when I know our range is more than just rapping. It's more than just R&B. It can really touch on any. We have, even in the album, have a little bit of pop in there, so we definitely like to keep our range open and not just be secluded to one area of music.
Okay. So besides music, do you have any hobbies, other outside interests?
Yeah, spending time with my family is a major hobby. Running my business, I have my own LLC. It's called Fly Boss Collection. That's pretty much why I titled that my first album, Fly Boss Collection. To just pretty much promote my business as well, and the business aspect of things. I make shirts, make custom shirts. I have photo shoots.
Now, how long has that been around? The Fly Boss Collection clothing line.
I just recently got the LLC for that like a month ago. So it hasn't really been out too long, but it's definitely still in the works. I mean, this whole Corona thing kind of set it back just slightly, but I'm still pushing business on to keep on.
And how are you selling it? How are you selling your merchandise?
Everything's pretty much just through the internet, on Facebook, social media. People that reach out, they'll see that I just did something for somebody, then they'll reach out and ask to, get something made or something custom, or even questions that they have pertaining to their own business or adventures that they have going. they'll reach out. I'll give them honest feedback and tell them exactly how I took the steps. Because I don't see why a lot of people, even when I was in the works of trying to get my business together, a lot of people seem to like try to want to cuff or not really be truthful about how they got started.
I know exactly
in some way, in some way or form, they would try to subtract from what you have or what you're trying to do to keep you stuck. So I ain't really like that. So I always make sure I be very truthful about how I got started and what steps that I take, what places that I went, instead of being one of those type of people that are.
Yeah, because the truth is somebody put them on too. You could do your own research and, you can read as much stuff as you want to read, but someone put them on. But then when it comes time to try to put someone else on, they half-ass it pretty much.
They have amnesia.
They like to make it seem like they have it all together and it's no other way but their way or something like that. So.
Yeah. Okay.
That's pretty dope. Now, you sound like you have a busy schedule based on the fact that with your involvement with Fire Entertainment, with the up-and-coming artist tour or the virtual event that's coming up this Saturday, and then you have your other platforms established, your LLC. Now, with all of that going on, tell me, how do you interact with your fans? How do you respond to them?
Okay, I really enjoy feedback from my fans and interaction with my fans. I also comment and like and share on their content as well to try to be engaging as much as they are with my content.
Nice.
So I honestly like the fans' interactions and seeing how they feel about certain content that I might put out a preview, see how many fires I get back or fist pumps or arm raises on it. So it actually helps me. It helps me find what may be best for them to put out. Even though I hear a lot of times, because I have a whole lot of music, and I hear a lot of times something that I may think might make it, and I let somebody else hear it, they might think it's golden to them. So I try to give a little taste here and there often on my pages so I can get the good feedback that I need, or any feedback to see, okay, this might be a go. Okay, I could probably cuff this for a later time, So it helps interacting with my friends.
Yep, that's definitely the key. So can you tell us, what type of, what's your favorite part in this entertainment business?
Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other places people like to listen? How do I make money from my podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. Now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors too, so you can get paid to podcast. I use my podcast to promote and introduce you to my novel that is coming up, The Setup. And you can learn more about that on my website at www.sharikaduncan.com and pre-order your copy today. Anchor, I love Anchor because I'm able to manipulate my voice files and give you beautiful creative pitches in the cast in my script and introduce you to different people and personality that come a part of the episodes and just dialogue with you and meet great and exciting people. So if you always wanted to start a podcast and make money from doing it, go to anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. Hey, I can't wait to hear your podcast. Let's go.
I would
and
say
your least favorite part too, and why?
I would say my favorite part is being as creative as I want to be on paper, and then being able to turn it into a form of art on audio and visual.
Mm-hmm.
And then the least favorite, I would say, is dealing with people that doesn't share the same drive as me, not being equally motivated. Because it could be draining having to send your work to somebody, and then they're taking their time, or they're, half-stepping it because their vision is not the same as yours or mine. So.
Or sometimes they just really don't understand your line of work, but they pretend to know it all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they don't have the same level of energy as you while you're trying to grind. They don't see the importance, or, sometimes it's just a mismatch.
Yes, a mismatch. And I've ran with this. You would deal with a lot of that in this, dealing with music and trying to get your vision to be manifested. You deal with having to deal with a lot of other people that might not see the same vision or share the same vision that you see in yourself. So that would be my least favorite, is just not being around the same equally motivated people or equally passionate people to, the dream I want to manifest.
Okay.
Wow.
So I'm sure you've performed quite a bit since you started or whatnot, but have you ever dealt with, like, performance anxiety? And if so, what did you do to deal with it? Like, and then tell me also, how do you prepare for a performance?
Okay. Like, with performing, like, when I know I'm about to perform, I really feel a feeling every time. It's like more of a rush feeling than anxiety. But I would say it's not a bad thing. It's more excitement than anything for me. And then, like, as soon as I get on stage, I get calm. I'm ready to perform, and I try to give 110 every time I get on the stage. So, yeah, and as far as preparation before stage, I just do breathing techniques. Just breathe, okay, I know I'm about to. If I hear my name coming up next and they like, okay, Franco Black is up next to the stage, I just breathe as I walk, take my steps slowly, breathe, and then I just tell myself, okay, this is it, you ready? That's how I pretty much prepare before I go on stage. Mm-hmm.
Do you meditate?
I definitely do. I love meditation.
Yeah.
Go outside,
I figured since you said breathing techniques, I was like, okay, this dude probably meditates, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing. I always, even when I'm every day when I'm showering, I listen to jazz when I'm showering, just breathing, meditating, staying calm. I like even outside. I just step outside, just breathe the good air, look around, see the trees flowing. The small stuff. I take in a lot of the small stuff around, and I soak it in and just calm myself. Because sometimes I'll tell myself, okay, you might be moving a little too fast, slow down. I have to tell myself that sometimes. Slow down, breathe a little bit. I resort that to the jazz or something like that, some old oldies. Those and that's crazy because, like, on my Pandora station, like, jazz and, like, Goldie oldies is like, it's called lowrider oldies, are my favorite two stations to use.
Wow.
So it always puts me in the calm, back in the calm center moment, and then just observing everything around me, breathing, taking walks.
Do you like the stylistics?
Silence what?
The stylistics, are you familiar with them?
Oh, I probably heard of them. I probably heard of their music. What song do they like?
I gotta put you on. You gotta try. You gotta listen to them. If you like that oldie stuff, you gotta listen to them. I mean, they got a song where Jay-Z sampled. It's just the best. I don't want to give too much because now we have to kind of wrap it up. But the stylistics, they make great music. A lot of rappers sample their songs, and they're just awesome to listen to. So I'm just throwing it out there. Give them a listen. But what advice would you